Chapter 10. I will marry Carol in 3 days. No, I would have. No, I did. I remember reading a collection of Crazy Cat comic strips when I was 21. One was captioned, Coma Reigns. Coconino County was in the doldrums, comatose. Nobody, Crazy Cat, Ignatz Mouse, Officer Pup, nobody had the energy to do anything. Mouse was too lazy even to think about hurling his brickbat. Strange how that sticks in my mind. Strange to think that it won't be long before it becomes forever unstuck. Coma reigns today over the world. Except for Project Toro, the TV says. And that is behind schedule. But the Earth, Ignatz Mouse, will not allow itself to forget that it must hurl the brickbat, the asteroid. But where Ignatz expressed his love, in a queer, perverted fashion, by banging Cat in the back of the head with his brick, the world is expressing its hatred and its desperation by throwing Toro at the ball. I did manage today to go downtown to my appointment. I did it only to keep from going mad with grief. I was late, but Chief Moberly seemed to expect that I would be. Almost everybody is, he said. One reason for my tardiness was that I got lost. This residential area was nothing in 1968 but a forest out past the edge of town. I don't have a car, and the house is in the middle of the area, which has many winding streets. I do have a map of the area, which I forgot about. I kept going eastward and finally came to a main thoroughfare. This was Route 98, over which I've traveled many times since I was a child. The road itself, and the houses along it, were strange. The private airport, which should have been across the road, was gone, replaced by a number of large industrial buildings. A big sign near a roofed bench told me to wait there for the RTS bus. One would be along every 10 minutes, the sign stated. I waited an hour. The bus, when it came, was not the fully automated vehicle promised by the sign. It held a sleepy-looking driver and 10 nervous passengers. The driver didn't ask me for money, so I didn't offer any. I sat down and watched him with an occasional look out of the window. He didn't have a steering wheel. When he wanted the bus to slow down or stop, he pushed a lever forward. To speed it up, he pulled back on the lever. The bus was apparently following a single aluminum rail in the middle of the right-hand lane. My Rex told me that the automatic pilot and door-opening equipment had never been delivered, and probably wouldn't be for some years, if ever. The grand plan of cybernating everything possible had failed. There aren't enough people who can provide the know-how or the man-hours. In fact, everything is going to hell. The police chief, Adam Moberly, is 50 years old and looks as if he's 65. He talked to me for about 15 minutes and then had me take a short physical and intelligence test. 3 hours after I'd walked into the station, I was sworn in. They suggested that I room with 2 other officers, one of whom was a 60-year-old veteran, in the hotel across the street from the station. If I had company, I'd get over the morning disorientation more quickly. Besides, the policemen who lived in the central area of the city got preferential treatment in many things, including the rationed supplies. I refused to move. I couldn't claim that my house was a home to me, but I feel that it's a link to the past. I mean the future. No, I mean the past. Leaving it would be cutting out one more part of me. Subjective date, 17 years before the ball appeared. My mother died today. That is, as far as I'm concerned, she did. The days ahead of me are going to be full of anxiety and grief. She took a long time to die. She found out she had cancer 2 weeks after my father died. So I'll be voyaging backward in sorrow through my mother, and then through my father, who was also sick for a long time. Thank God I won't have to go through every day of that, though. Only a third of them. And these are the last words I'm going to record about their illnesses. But how can I record them unless I make a recording reminding me not to do so? I found out from my Rex how I'd gotten this big scar around my face. Myrna's ex-husband slashed me before I laid him out with a big ashtray. He was shipped off this time to a hospital for the criminally insane, where he died a few months later in the fire that burned every prisoner in his building. I haven't the faintest idea what happened to Myrna after that. Apparently, I decided not to record it. I feel dead tired tonight, and, according to my Rex, every night. It's no wonder if every day is like today. Fires, murders, suicides, accidents, and insane people. Babies up to 14 years old, abandoned, and a police department which is 90% composed, in effect, of raw rookies. The victims are taken to hospitals where the nurses are only half-trained, if that, and the doctors are mostly old geezers hauled out of retirement. I'm going to bed soon, even if it's only 9 o'clock. I'm so exhausted that even Jane Mansfield couldn't keep me awake. And I dread tomorrow. Besides the usual reasons for loathing it, I have one which I can hardly stand thinking about. Tomorrow, my memory will have slid past the day I met Carol. I won't remember her at all. Why do I cry? Because I'll be relieved of a great sorrow.